I'm Graham Elwood, and welcome to another edition of the Church of Batman. It's football season, guys. We just had the national championship of college football. The NFL is thick in their playoffs, and I want to talk about the NFL. And I want to talk about this article or interview that just came out. Legendary athlete Bo Jackson on concussions. I would have never played football. Legendary athlete Bo Jackson, once a Pro Bowl running back, made a startling confession in an interview with USA Today's Bob Nightingale. If I knew back then what I know now, I would have never played football, Jackson said. Never. I wish I had known about all those head injuries, but no one knew that. And the people that did know, they wouldn't tell anybody. Jackson went on to say, the game has gotten so violent, so rough. We're so much more educated on this CTE stuff. There's no way I would ever allow my kids to play football today. I'm referring to chronic traumatic encephalopathy. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that correctly. Even though I love the sport, I'd smack them in the mouth if they said they wanted to play football. I'd tell them play baseball, basketball, soccer, golf, or just anything but football. Those of you who might not know who Bo Jackson is, in the 80s and I think early 90s, he was one of the only, well, he was like the only two-sport professional athlete. He played Major League Baseball and he played professional football, and he was amazing at both. And then he broke his leg, and everyone always said he would have been really great at either one if he would have just focused on it, but he just loved doing both. So why this is important is the CTE issue. So you might remember the movie that came out last year, Concussion, with Will Smith. That was the based on the true story of the doctor that found this disease, CTE, and how the NFL has been covering it up. And why I think this is important, for me at least, is I played high school football. I love the game of football. I've watched it so much, and I'm kind of done watching I personally can't support the NFL anymore. I just can't. And this is being recorded on a Chicago Bears trash can. I have a little iPhone tripod, and it's on top of a turned upside down Chicago Bears trash can. I have a bunch of Bears jerseys. I have a football snack helmet, which does make the chips taste better. But I love the sport, so I want to say that up front because I don't want to just seem like I'm some nerd who's like, yeah, I hate football, it's dumb. It's an amazing sport. I sort of feel like in that movie, Alec Baldwin, when Will Smith's character asks him, why would people play this game? It's so brutal on the body. And he says, when it's done correctly, it's like pure Shakespeare. And it's an amazing sport in terms of it's the perfect combination of brute force, athleticism, and amazing strategy. Like it's a tactician's dream, that game between the offense and the defense. And I think it's amazing. It helped me a lot as a young man with, I was rebellious. I had divorced parents. I was getting in trouble at school. I was angry. I was fighting, and I started playing football, and it focused me, and it taught me teamwork. It taught me responsibility and all those great things. But if I had kids, I wouldn't let them play football. I have one nephew that plays, and I've talked to him about it. I worry about him playing. I told him I worry about it because they've done research that they found CTE in people that played only high school football, only up to the high school level. So I could have it. Guys I played with could have it. My brother could have it. So, but why I want to talk about the NFL is because the NFL knew about this for years and covered it up. That's what the whole CTE thing is. They just went to the Supreme Court, so they're now have to pay $1 billion, the NFL does, to over 20,000 players and they've broken it down. And if you Google this, CTE payouts or claims, you'll see it breaks down. Like if you get Alzheimer's, you pay Parkinson's, they'll pay out this, this, and this. And the NFL fought this, of course. They haven't wanted to take care of their employees. I was driving in Culver City, California, by the NFL networks, and there was this dude out there, looked like he was in his 50s, mid to late 50s, and he had a protest sign. And I pulled up alongside, and I said, hey, man, I appreciate you protesting these guys. He goes, man, I need to get my money. I gave them my whole body, and they're not helping me out at all. This is a multi-billion-dollar organization that won't even help the men who built the reason this organization is worth so much money is the guys that played the game. and their bodies are wrecked, their brains are damaged. Like, okay, it's going to hurt your body. You knew that going in, but we didn't know about CTE. When I played football in the 80s, we only knew about like concussions maybe, and we didn't know the severity of long-term concussions. We didn't know how it was linked to Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, and CTE we didn't even know it was. No one even knew a thing about it. Didn't even exist. The NFL, like any big corporation, didn't want that to get out there. There's a line in the movie Concussion that explains, I always talk about on this show, follow the money, follow the money. So there's a line on that in the movie where this guy goes, if just 20% of the moms in America tell their young kids to not play football, 20 years from now, the NFL will be over. Boom. Bo Jackson, former NFL player, said it. I never would have played. I will not let my children play. This is starting to become a recurring theme, and this is going to hurt the NFL's bottom line, which is why they're going to resist this, but they can't now. It went all the way up to the Supreme Court. So I can't support this organization. This is also an organization that said, we don't care about domestic violence. Oh, until it's on camera, when Ray Rice was on video camera beating up his girlfriend in an elevator, oh, then we're going to do something about it. But they swept that under the rug for years. And they don't care about their players. They don't care. It sickens me. They wave the flag, they play they play the national anthem, and they got all mad at Kyle Kaepernick for taking a knee. That's his First Amendment right to take a knee. The league should have got behind him. I'm sick of this. They wave the flag and talk about America, and I'm sure they're like, oh, we support the troops and vets and all this stuff like that, but they won't even support their own players who this game is on. They're suffering. They can't even walk or think, and guys are committing suicide because of CTE. So I can't support the NFL. If you're an NFL fan, I get it. It's a fun game, and getting all your friends together on Sunday, that's a blast. It was a really cool social thing that I miss. But I just can't. I can't give them my money. They talk about voting with your dollars. I just can't do it. And if you are thinking about playing, or you are playing, or you have a kid that's thinking about playing, do some research on CTE. Oh, they're trying to come up with new helmets that absorb and stuff. Okay, and the rules, it's still not good. Research CTE, find out about this before you or your kids play. I'm Graham Elwood. Thanks for watching. This is the Church of Batman.